What's up, everybody? Corey here. Welcome back to the channel, and if it is your first time here, then welcome to the channel. So today we're going to be doing things a little bit different than what we have been doing, and we're going to be talking once again about Diablo 2 Resurrected. What I wanted to talk about is 5 very simple, should be, at least in my opinion, simple to implement changes in Diablo 2 Resurrected that could add a bit of quality of life. So if you like what I'm doing here, you like these videos, please consider liking, subscribing, leaving a comment in the section down below, and let's talk about the 5 easiest implementation of changes, at least that I think would be easy to implement and could bring a bit of quality to the life of Diablo 2 Resurrected. So the first thing, why was Deckard Cain moved? Why is Deckard Cain not here like he's supposed to be? In Diablo 2 Lord of Destruction rather, Deckard Cain hangs out right here. For some reason, in Diablo 2 Resurrected, they've decided to put Deckard way over here. Unless your mercenary is dying often, coming all the way over here to speak with Deckard is very, very annoying. It is so irritating and so frustrating to deal with. Deckard should be over here where he is supposed to be. So that would be the first one. Put Deckard back where he belongs in Act 5. It's I don't understand this change. The second one, you may notice on the bottom of my screen that I'm casting these buffs, but we don't know how long they stay on for. This is something that, well, with the implementation of a whole bunch of different stuff in the game, you can make this a lot better. You could actually put a small timer, much like you see with the town scrolls, the town portal scrolls. How it says, I have 9 of them. If I use one, it goes down to 8, 7, 6, 5. This could work the same way with the buffs and debuffs. And this can be implemented on any character that has a buff, any character that has summons, things of that nature. And there's different ways that you could do it. You could put the timer down there, which would work just fine. Or you could even just put a little border around the inside of the spell that almost counts down, ticks down, almost like a timer, if you will. Instead of it counting down by numbers, it could be, filled up and just slowly go away. And then once it completely is gone, the buff drops off. That shouldn't be too difficult of a thing to implement into the game. And I think that having a buff timer would greatly improve the quality of life while playing the game. There's almost no characters. I can think of, let's see. I mean, you could do it with the shape-shifting on the druids. You could do it with, obviously, the shouts for the barbarians, shields for the sorceress, fade or venom or whatever you may use on the assassin. The list goes on. There's multiple different things that you can use, and it's already got it in there for scrolls and bow and arrow or thrown weapons or things of that nature. That same type of system could be implemented on the buffs and debuffs, not really debuffs rather, or even just adding something up on the screen, like adding something on here. I know that may be kind of cluttered, so down on the bar would work as well, but something that gives you time, that lets you know how long it's there. Another thing that I think would be fantastic would be a way to fully fill out your slots or fill out your scrolls, your books when you're buying while using a controller. Now, people like myself, I prefer to play with a controller because I have a lot of issues with my hands. Even while using a vertical mouse, it still, after a very short amount of time, causes a lot of pain because I have to use my thumb to stabilize the mouse. and the problems are primarily in my thumb. From years and years and years of PC gaming and playing incorrectly, doesn't matter. There's a lot of issues. Well, when you're playing with the controller, and let's say, for instance, you have all these in your, like, you die, right? Your character dies, and you've got all these in here. Well, there's actually a pretty easy, simple one-click way to put all the potions that you have back in your belt. If you hold R3, it fills it up. Now, when you go to buy, you have to buy every individual potion. There's no hotkey to buy them faster. If there was a way where if I'm playing on the PlayStation, I could hold L1. I could hold L1 and X, and that allowed me to just buy a multitude of them. Hold R1 and X, or even just the same thing. Hold R3 and it fills up the potion slots, or hold R3 and it fills up those, and that would be fantastic. That would be great. That's just a very small, should be easy to implement quality of life thing that would be fantastic. I think that's what, 3. So the fourth one would be, I'm sure you've heard this a lot, stacking runes, stacking gems, things like that. I have a page that's full of runes. I don't have any high runes right now, so don't worry about it. But I have a page full of runes, a page with a bunch of gems. This would be so much easier and so much less like full if I had the ability to have, we'll say, up to 50, 99, whatever, perfect rubies here. And then perfect topaz, perfect amethyst, perfect skulls, perfect emeralds. That would be great. I would completely also like to have the keys, the burning essences, all of those things to be able to stack upon one another. That would reduce the clutter so much, so much. It would just be really great to be able to stack these things. I know that they've said that it's not something that they're really looking at doing or wanting to do, but they are willing to consider it, or at least that's the last thing I heard. That would be a phenomenal improvement. Give us stacking runes, stacking gems, stacking keys, stacking essence. I have mules that are simply just to hold keys. That is... man, that's painful. And now, don't get me wrong, I've been playing Diablo 2 for ever, we'll say. And I understand wanting to keep things how they are, but you've already moved Cain, so give us some actual quality of life instead of making things more difficult. I shouldn't have to go on magic. Like, it's more beneficial right now when I go on magic find runs to, if I'm going on Act 5, to go to Act 4 and talk to Cain to identify, and then go back to Act 5 to do my stuff, because of how much of a pain in the rear it is to walk all the way over here to see Deckard Cain. The fifth thing that would be fantastic to add would be the ability to simply apply a loot filter. Now, this is something that is a little bit deeper. It's going to be a little bit more difficult to do, but when you're running around and you're looting things in this game, it can be very cluttered. It's a very cluttered mess, and I never even considered the idea of a loot filter or anything like that until I started playing on things like Path of Diablo, Project Diablo, things that allow you to add loot filters, Path of Exile, and it reduces so much clutter that it's strange that that's something that wasn't simply added to the game when D2R was released. That's something that, in my opinion, it should have been added, or if not, then it should be added now. I mean, the amount of clutter that you get on the screen, if I could go on there and be like, okay, I don't want to see any greater potions because it's not worth picking up. I don't want to see blue items unless it's a monarch or a circlet or an amulet or a ring. There's no point for you to show me a blue dimensional blade. There's no reason for me to see a yellow warhammer or a yellow crossbow. That would reduce so much clutter. It would be phenomenal. So I just think that these 5 things, although the 5th one, like I said, it is a bit more deep and a little bit more demanding than the other 4 are. I think that these things could really add a very, very large amount of quality of life to Diablo 2 Resurrected. And I've always been the kind of guy where when it comes to remakes, it comes to remasters, it comes to things of that nature, stick with the source. But they've already told us that they're going to be changing a lot of stuff. They're going to be adding new rune words. They're going to be modifying the sets. They're going to be making changes to the game already. So if you're going to be doing that, that's fine. I get it. It's whatever. Give us some quality of life, and that would be great. I'll be back in a few days to do another Diablo 2 video. I'm going to come up with some more extreme quality of life things, not so much quality of life, but maybe some new additions I'd like to see added to the game, some implemented. Example, a mapping system. A mapping system would be fantastic. The fact that you have a very small amount of areas to magic find in right now, it's kind of if you're wanting like the more high-end stuff. So the ability to run a mapping system would be great, but we'll discuss that in the next video. Like I said, if y'all like this video, if you find it entertaining, if you want to see more, make sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Let me know actually down in the comment section what you think about these. What kind of changes or quality of life features would you like to see added to Diablo 2 Resurrected? I would love to get your feedback. I've been seeing in the comment section that some people are asking for me to share some of my character files for some offline characters. I am going to be working on doing that. I'm going to be setting up a Google Drive where I can try to save the character files in there. That way, when I do character builds, which I'm going to start doing again, you guys can have access to pull those character files, install them into your file folders, and actually play the builds, test them out, try them out yourself. And then even from there, you can give me some suggestions on builds that you'd like to see me try to come up with, and then I can come up with it and then give you the opportunity to play it yourself. So thanks for sticking around for this entire video, and I will see y'all in the next one. I'm out.